Ladies and gentlemen, your hosts, Michael Wilkes, Angel Ortiz, Dr. Chad, and Sam La Cavera. Go check out beardedbrowns.com and be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. Enjoy the show.
I guess I had to hop on and do something real quick. My gosh, I thought my only live today was going to be a quick Dylan Gabriel rant, but yet here I am having to breaking news. Have to breaking news. If you haven't seen it yet, folks, ladies and gentlemen, Quinshon Judkins has been arrested for domestic violence. Yeah. How do we feel about that, guys? I'm here. I wanted to hop on real quick because I just feel like we need to talk about this. If you guys need to talk about it, if you have anything to say, please let me know in the chat. Let me know below. I'll put my kids to bed, and actually Chad put it in our latest WhatsApp, and I could not believe what I've been seeing. What's up, guys? How you doing? Just give me a comment below. Doug doesn't know what to say. He's out of words. What's up, Greg? How you doing? Oh, Greg looks pretty mad. Yeah, that seems to be the trend right now. Everyone is upset, confused, and annoyed at this situation with our Cleveland Browns. Like, it can't just like you. I have sports podcast. Chad just jumped on, commenting. I'm at a loss for words currently at how I feel about this situation, and it would be different, right, if it was just one incident, one time. But need I remind you, it was just about a year ago that Hall got arrested for the same situation. And then Perion Winfrey the year before that. Like, there's something happening here. Is he cooked for fantasy? out of all the things to say, is Carter asks, is he cooked for fantasy? Like, I think that is the last thing that, as a Browns fan, that I'm worried about right now, is whether is he going to be able to play for fantasy. We're going to have a fantasy expert on Wednesday at 7:30. If you want to hop on and ask him that question, then maybe he's more apt to answer it for you. Listen, I just wanted to hop on real quick, and it is mind-blowing to me the amount of issues this team seems to have off the field. Listen, this is the type of this is off season. You're supposed to be quiet. You're supposed to be at home. You're supposed to be like Shador. Just record your workouts and post it on social media. Like, what's going on here in Berea? What's going on? Greg says, who cares? He was so suit up or not week one. The thing is, he might suit up for week one, but he will eventually get suspended, so he will miss games. I'm in the process of trying to see, well, how many games Hall got. I think he got 4 for last year's incident, but his was a little extreme. I guess he had like a weapon and waving and stuff like that. I got Buckeye. Buckeye says, I hope he can rebound from this. He can be really good. At some point, we also get, at some point we picked up Dylan Gabriel. Yes. Yeah, and Chad in our chat said something too, like what's up with the Buckeye dudes? Like, I don't mean to be that guy. Like, I'm from Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio. So there's some love for the Buckeyes, but like, what what is up? What is going on? Like, what is going on with these athletes that puts themselves in situations where they're chasing this, or not chasing this, but this becomes a part of an issue. And when do we start questioning whether AB should be accountable for these players? Like, I know he can't babysit them, and I know technically he can't be there holding their hand, but at some point, like, we need to start addressing the elephant in the room. And it seems like AB there's some character issues going on here with him. You know, I'm not that type of person to sit there and think like AB should be let go because of what these kids do. But like, what is the thing here, right? What is the thing going on here in the water? Raul said, did he drag that girlfriend down with a pew pew? No, it's new. Reports are slowly coming out. This just dropped maybe an hour or two ago. You guys might have caught it before me. I was putting my kids to bed. And I said, I'm going to hop on real quick and just get a quick reaction of how do you guys feel? In the comments below, if you're following this, share, comment, follow us on Instagram, follow us on all your social medias. How do you guys feel about this? Gregory says, got all that money and can't keep it head on straight. He hasn't got any money yet, and that's the deal. I just read an article or a comment from, or a post from the Dogs podcast. Great podcast, by the way, if you guys want to follow somebody. They said that he might have been holding out for guaranteed money, and this hurts him there. This is definitely hurting him. So he was holding out. For those that don't know, he hasn't been signed. Actually, not a lot of second-round picks have been signed because a lot of them are holding out for more guaranteed money. And this definitely hurts his money situation. This definitely hurts his pocket, because if he was holding out and this report happens, now the Browns have a red flag on him, right? Now it's not. Now according to most of the things going on here, he hasn't had any issues at Ohio State or in Ole Miss when he was supposedly. There's no reports. So this is basically his first incident. Buckeye Pay says, I said that I'm disappointed. Q's much better than that, and he knows better. Yeah, you would know more than, I don't know, Buckeye Pay, if you follow them closely, if you're in Columbus or follow them closely in Columbus, if you can speak more for that for us, like as far as Q's character in Columbus, like is he ever getting into trouble, any type of issues with them? I don't think so, because I think it would have came out. Then again, it is Columbus, and they probably would have kept it a secret just to get him to play, because college athletes are just like that. They get special treatment. But how you doing, Rick? I'm good. Rick, how are you doing, sir? Just reacting to the latest Quinshon news of him getting arrested for domestic violence. Sam is not in the chat, Michael. Sorry, I'm the only one on. I don't know how long I'm going to be on, so I don't think the guys are going to get on quick. But let me know below in the comments. Tell me, guys, let me know, how do you feel about this? Do you feel good about what Q just did? Obviously, you don't feel good what Q just did, but do you think this is going to hurt them as a team? As a team, do you think this is going to hurt them? And if somebody can, let me know in the chat, how many games did Mike Hall Jr. get last year? Suspension. I'm actually looking that up now. 5 games. He was 5 games suspension for what he did. So I would assume Q would get about the same, 3 to 5, right? And here we go. Raul says, you do see a pattern with these Ohio State guys. I totally agree. The Ohio State guys seem to have a pattern. They just like to do things that are just weird. Greg says, my question is, why is this a consistent thing in Cleveland? Very good question. Very good question. Yes. Buckeye said, I'm a huge Buckeye and Browns fan, so yes, I follow him closely. From what I hear, he wasn't any problem for us at OSU, but at Ole Miss, he was rumored to be a locker room problem. Interesting. Did not know that. And here we go. Lou on X says, wait until more facts are revealed. Hey, I'm the guy that says I'm the type of guy that says, regardless of the facts, you shouldn't be doing anything toward anyone in general of the opposite gender or even the same gender. I'm not a fight guy. I like the fight guy in general, so you should stay out of trouble, especially an athlete who's trying to get a guaranteed contract. You should do whatever you can do to get yourself out of there, right? Mike says that's all right. I'm a little late. Love the cast, y'all. Y'all doing a great job. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. One thing I'm trying to do better is that get on when breaking news like this happens, so we can get a live response from you fans. It's all about you guys and all about the followers out there. And when I saw this instantly, Chad sent it to us. I had 3 kids, so I was kind of getting ready for bedtime. Mike just got off the phone with Mike about an opportunity he ran into while going out for food. And then I saw Chad send us a message, and I'm like, what is this? And I click on it. I said, no way. This cannot be real. This is not a repeat of last year. This cannot be a situation in which we are going to experience again. And what's even worse is that Q is slated to be the first RB1, right? Mike, you do have a point. This is a consistent thing in the NFL as a whole. For the last 2 years, even with Winfrey, he had an issue with this too. So it was like 3 years in a row that I'm concerned about. Rose says, wait for the Mary Kay report. What is that? What does that mean? You have something against Mary Kay? Come on, man. Buckeye says, but those were just rumors about him in Mississippi. Okay. Could have been false. That's true. He was a great guy for Ohio State, great locker room guy, obviously a great team guy, because he could have been a ball hog, but he loved the fact that he shared the ball with Henderson, and it made that team a lot better. 100% agree. I know it's just weird, man. It's just weird. Like, these players get off at this time. Like, you had Shador racing, break time racing. You got these players who are bored, who are so used to. You know what I think? Now that we're talking this out, Greg said, can this be massaged out? Oh my God, Deshaun reference for the win. No, the thing is, like, it seems to me like these players, especially coming out of college, they're so used to routine, right? So they should probably have to be somewhere at a certain time. They're probably their first time really having a break. And they get around people and they just don't know how to act, and they get into some trouble, right? I'm not going to really, I don't think this is going to end his career, but it's very interesting. I'm speaking more or less from a franchise perspective, like a AB perspective. Like, why are most of these players getting into issues that he seems to draft? And I know there's like some type of test or some type of thing that they do to them, or I'm pretty sure they're spending millions of dollars on them. I'm sure that there's some type of thing going on to where they're going to do their due diligence with these players. But I don't understand why we seem to be targeting players with this issue. Raul said, I don't condone what Hoj did, but I could understand. But I do understand. What do you understand? What are you understand? Yeah, we need to talk about that. If you understand what I think you understand, then we need to talk about that, because you shouldn't understand anything. You need to run as a man, especially as a man in which you're about to go into a career that can set up millions, life-changing money, especially if he's on the trajectory to get where he can get long-term later on in life. Like, you need to do what you can, and no fault to him. Maybe he just doesn't. I mean, maybe I don't know. I'm sure more reports can come out by Monday, Tuesday, and I don't know if we will be able to respond on the Wednesday show, because it's going to be a totally different show. Now, how we're going to fit that into it, but maybe when we talk draft, maybe we can talk about that. But I don't know. It is just annoying, discouraging, and frustrating to see the fact that you have another guy in trouble, a guy that we had high hopes on, hoping that he gets in the mini camp training, or get in the training camp here with no drama. And the only drama we were hoping to have is quarterback drama of who's going to start, who's going to not start. And yet now here is another nugget that we, as a podcaster too, as a content creator, that we're going to focus on, other than the important thing, which is setting up a team to be successful. Now, players are going to have to answer questions. Kevin and AB are going to have to answer questions. And it is a off season, a break in which now they're not going to have to answer. They're probably the Shador speeding is definitely going to get brought up. No one's going to forget about that. I mean, he's out there working hard. He's forgiven. He's young, whatever. But this just adds to it. And it may have, the Shador thing may have been forgotten about, but the fact that this is going to get brought up and the fact that there's going to be a trouble of history when they're off is going to be brought up is a problem. It's Greg says it's really silly to me. You can set your family up with generational wealth by just showing up to work and keeping your head down. We kind of expect better because of Nick. I did think we expect better just for humanity itself, not just because of Nick. I just think as human beings, fighting in general should be frowned upon. As a believer, as a Christian, I don't, unless I'm defending myself, obviously, I'm not going to let somebody, do something. But I'm not going to go. I'm going to do everything I can to de-escalate before I escalate, if that makes sense. But yeah, it's just a bad situation all around for the team. I don't understand it, man. I really don't understand it. I don't get it. But Q was going to be is going to be a focal point of this offense. Now he may be suspended, I would say 3 to 5 games, if any, and that's going to impact the rhythm in which the offense runs. Because now they're going to have to probably keep or find somehow another running back to slide in because they're going to have to keep 3 running backs. So Ford becomes more important, right? So we can't just get rid of Ford. People just can't assume Ford is done. So he's going to be, I think he was a 3rd down back to begin with anyways. But you can't just assume, Ford's going to be done. But the Browns are going to, once they get news, they're going to have to make roster moves. They might have to cut a defensive tackle, not cut, but, make room for have the foresight and knowledge of knowing where he's going to be suspended for 3 to 4 games. 3 to 5 games. So we're going to have to make this roster move to carry a 3rd running back. And that's just an inconvenience. It's just an inconvenience, if anything. It's an annoying inconvenience. And as a fan, it's frustrating. Now I tend at times to really try to take away my fandom and think logically, analytically, and respond as mature as I can. But when I seen this match, I as a fan, I just got frustrated. Michael said, no man should do anything to a woman, but they get this money and they think they are untouchable. And yes, that's the fact. Speeding and driving fast, normal young man, but putting your hands on a woman, that's crazy. Need more structure in the franchise, role models and consequences. It's just as simple. Yeah, the thing is, Mike, he hasn't even got paid yet. Like, that's a valid point, but he hasn't even got paid, and he's doing this. And that's crazy. That I don't know, you probably just jumping in now, Mike, but I said about 10, 15 minutes ago, like, he's wanting that guaranteed contract, and now this is going to hurt that. Because he went from a person that had no blemishes to one mistake and just hurt a domino effect of the next year or so for him. So he might just lose out on that guaranteed contract. Buckeye said, Dylan is going to have to step up for us. He was one of the best backs in the SEC conference, so that gives me hope. I agree, and that's not talked about enough, Buckeye. Not talked about enough how good Dylan was. I mean, he was SEC Offensive Player of the Year. So I'm not too worried about that fall off. But what I am worried, what was very intriguing to me and very encouraging is the fact that you had 2 good running backs that you wouldn't fall off. Like, if you had one on the field and you have to take one off, I don't think there will be a tremendous drop off there. But now I do think there's a slight drop off between Sampson and Ford. Though I don't undervalue Ford. I value him highly. I think Browns fans undercut him because of the whole coming in right at the Chubb situation. But we'll see what happens with that. Yeah, Greg said it too. Sampson should get a good look. I agree 100%. Sampson's going to get more touches, obviously. And an encouraging thing, we said a couple of times on the podcast that he's going to get looks out as a receiver too. So that's really good. Greg says, it pisses me off too that they it pisses me off too that they only have to worry about what's going on around them and what the F they are doing, beating up a woman. Now, that's true. Now, I get it. Like, no one's perfect. We're all going to make mistakes 100%. But man, I just want to know, like, what does a team do when they meet with these rookies and encourage them to not make silly mistakes once they leave? Because I'm sure there's a meeting before they exit out a mini camp saying, hey, all right, we'll see you guys back in 4 weeks, but let's not get into trouble here. Let's calm down here. And it seems like if they do that, no one's listening. No one's listening. And when it starts to happen year after year, it starts to be a trend that fans can have an argument about the culture in the locker room. Now, this is a rookie player, yet again, back-to-back years where they have issues coming in. Maybe he will learn. Well, I'm pretty sure he will learn from this. From everything I'm hearing from people that are higher, more important to me in the sports world, that Hall has learned from his mistake and he's better for it. So that's encouraging to see. But the fact that he had to miss 5 games hurt his growth. And that's another thing, like as a fan or as a podcaster, I not only think as a fan, like, oh my God, we're going to miss out on him. Like, I think about his growth in the game. Like, that's 5 less games, 5 less reps for him to grow as a player, whether it's from blocking or learning to cut a certain way or learning the system. Like, he's not going to be there. Or maybe he will. Maybe I'm being dramatic and thinking that he's going to get suspended for as long as he did, and he's not going to get suspended at all. I could be lying. I could just be dramatic about it, but that's how I agree. Michael said, agree. Grown a guys. I don't say words like that, so I'm just gonna X myself out. Grown a men, do what you were blessed to do and play ball. Yes. And I guess like that's when the Nick Chubb love comes in. We had this conversation this afternoon in our podcast about Nick Chubb and how he just kept his head down, kept quiet. He was humble. You had no issues with him, and as a fan, you love to see that, especially see them be successful at their craft. Rose said, and to think Ray Rice never touched a ball again from what he did. Now, what Ray Rice, and here's the thing about Ray Rice, though. He was about to get away with it. He probably would have got a couple games suspension, but what hurt Ray Rice was not the fact that he got caught, but it was on tape. And once that tape got out, people saw what he did. It was a bigger impact. And the NFL had to be like, you know what? We're going to suspend you for about 2 or 3 games, but the fact that this video came out, you're done. Because, like, we cannot ever have you around the NFL ever again. That's just how the NFL works. It's bad for business. If it's bad for business, they ain't touching you. They ain't touching you. Now, you can think it's conspiracy theorists as all you want, like y'all conspiracy theorists, but there's a lot of collusion in the NFL. I mean, a report just came out about Lamar Jackson getting paid and how the owners colluded against that to make sure not another guaranteed contract came out because of what Jimmy Haslam did with Deshaun Watson. So don't think that the NFL is going to be like, didn't do what they did with Ray Rice. And I'm telling you, that Ray Rice thing was a totally different story. Like, I'm sure if there's video with even Kareem Hunt, there's a video that came out, and I'm surprised he even still played in the league because of that. And that actually hurt his career, hurt his money more than anything, because he was up to having big money, good money. But instead, he ended up coming here for a minimum and actually worked his way back up to make more money because he changed. As a man, he changed and became different and was better for it. But yeah, this is crazy. I just wanted to hop in real quick to see how you fans are reacting, how you feeling tonight. Where were you when this news dropped? What were you doing? And it's just a typical Saturday night. You're sitting at home, probably getting your kids ready for bed, probably about to crack open a cold one, sit back and relax and watch a movie with the wife. Now you can't because you're frustrated, and your wife is like, why are you mad at me? You're like, no, I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at this. And she's like, it's just a football game. She's like, you don't understand it. I'm a passionate football fan. You're crying in the corner. Like, I get it, man. I get it. As a Browns fan, this is frustrating. It's frustrating because it limits everything the Browns can do for the point that Q is going to be gone. But Don says, "Why us? Don't they look into who these players actually are off the field anymore?" I see. I actually had the same question too. I said that too. But the thing is, like, maybe it's just a one time thing. Like as a Christian, I believe like there's no perfect human. Even as a Christian, you shouldn't believe that. Like there's no perfect human. Like, but you wonder like what what is the pattern to where it seems like 3 4 years in a row you have these issues, this specific issue. Like if it was speeding and then domestic violence and then drugs, and it's like you have an issue, it's a character issue, but they're different issues. But this one is like trending to be like a consistent thing every year. So you draft a player next year, you wonder like which one of these guys are going to get arrested for the domestic violence, right? It's just weird. I'm here. Yeah, it's you have a good night too, Ricky. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. Thank you guys for commenting below. You're helping it push an algorithm. That's what all content creators want. But just wanted to come in and talk with you guys about this, get this off our chest, make us feel a little like let off some steam in a healthy way. You know, some of us can't work out because it's too late. Some of us are at home and you're just upset and mad because you love your Browns and you want your Browns to be as good as you can. And we were excited for this kid to come on and the team coming from Ohio State, and you're like, crap, now we're going to have to deal with this drama. Like what's going to happen from this point forward with this rookie that we coveted. You know, we like, oh great, Q is going to be on the team. We saw him in Columbus with the Buckeyes, running the ball, being efficient, good guy, kept his head down. But then this bump in the road comes in. It just stinks, man. It's like you can't, you have trust issues with this team. And I think that's where it boils down to. That's why for me I've learned to be as flat on this team as possible. Like I have my takes, I have my opinions, and I like to share it. But when it comes to be excited about a certain player, I've learned just to be as balanced as possible. Because if you get too excited, he's going to be a bust or something like this is going to happen. But if you come in with some balance mindset, and then it might work out for you at the end. You're not as disappointed or angry. I used to get very upset